civil defence teams in the Gaza Strip have rescued, I understand, 5 people, including a child and 2 women trapped under a collapsed building. The 3-storey house in the Sheikh Radwan area, northwest of Gaza City, collapsed following weeks of heavy rain and flooding. I mean, several buildings already damaged from Israeli airstrikes over the past 2 years have caved in due to extreme weather. Back to you, Tareq. Just to remind you, in Gaza City, I mean, the search we know for bodies in the ruins of Gaza sounds ever more gruelling, Tareq, given these conditions.
Well, this is not a routine recovery operation as we understand. It's a complete and ongoing race against time, weather and destruction as well. Civil defense crews in southern Gaza are still searching for Palestinians being buried under the rubble of homes that were flattened over the past 2 years of Israeli airstrikes. Civil defense members are really operating with limited equipment, and now for them they are facing numerous challenges when it comes to recover the bodies of Palestinians. These areas were never accessed when the bombing campaign was at its peak, and now rescuers are returning back to structures and to buildings that are structurally very unstable, which raises more risks for them. And this has been massively compounded by the harsh weather conditions, where heavy rains are weakening the foundations and strong winds completely destroying the debris, making even civil defense members themselves stop even in mid-operation in order to avoid being buried themselves. They are still asking for more heavy machines to access Gaza. We understand that only one heavy bulldozer is responsible for clearing the rubble in Gaza City and elsewhere in the Strip. They are using very primitive equipment, including using their own hands in order to retrieve the bodies. And we saw how they are responding to emergency calls for families who are still trapped in particular areas when weather conditions usually exacerbate and deteriorate. They are saying that they are using very primitive and basic tools of rescue means in order to help families to avoid being trapped under tons of debris and inside partially destroyed houses.
And Tareq, we know there is the body of one remaining captive. His name is Ran Gavili. He's an Israeli police volunteer killed on October the 7th, 2023. I mean, given everything you've told us about how challenging it is to locate and identify bodies, I mean, what more do we know about the efforts to locate this last captive's remains?
Well, what we do understand so far is that Hamas and armed factions started recovery operations over the past 2 weeks in order to identify and even to locate the body of the last Israeli captive in Gaza. The operations took place in Al-Shuja'iyya and Azzoum neighborhood in the eastern part of Gaza City, just only a few kilometers from where we are. Usually these operations are surrounded by the monitoring of Israeli drones that you can right now hear, and due to the weather conditions, this process and the recovery operation has not been completed so far. And even during the time that Hamas, in cooperation with the Red Crescent and the Egyptian Committee, while they were digging and trying to find the body, they come with empty hand as the body was not completely retrieved. And this here raises serious concerns about how Israel will react to this, as Israel is delivered to mediators that there will be no progress in terms of negotiations for the second phase of the agreement without recovering the body of the last Israeli captive in Gaza, which also could leave the door open for a new round of escalation. And this has been the main fear among Palestinians, that Israel can take whatever pretext could be available in order to launch attacks on Gaza. Israel from its side justifies these attacks to be conducted against Hamas's operatives, but on the ground, despite all the high Israeli technology and the advancements in their monitorship and also Israeli weapons that have been used, but casualties and death toll among civilians, especially children and women, are still on the rise, which leaves also speculation about the level of let's say, a precision Israel is relying on during its airstrikes on the Strip. So till now, we can say that we cannot move to the second phase of the ceasefire agreement without finding this body, as mediators are trying to keep the situation between Hamas and Israel under control and also push for more arrangements for the second phase of the ceasefire agreement.
Tareq, as always, many thanks for that. Tareq Azzoum in Gaza City.
Don't miss out. Get a full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news, expert insight. Like, share, stay ahead.